In this episode, we wrap up the very first Angels of the Host Army Painting Challenge. Welcome once again to another bone-chilling episode of the Throne of Angels video blog. As always, I am your host, Mr. Derek Osborne, here to show you a world in miniature. Joined today by everybody's favorite elder god. He don't share the table with anybody. He kicked everybody else off. He said, "Nope, it's me alone." Don't call him by his name; it makes him angry or hungry, one of the two. Anyways, final episode of the first ever Angels of the Host Army Painting Challenge. And then details of the next one coming up soon. Probably not this episode, but maybe next one. We'll see. Maybe in the wrap. Who knows? Anyways, it's been a very rough week for me. So, did I get finished? Actually, I did not. I did not finish my challenge. So I'm a failure, but that's okay. I lost Monday, obviously recovery day for Adepticon, and clearly I was wicked behind on getting the recap video up. Tuesday I was worn out. Wednesday felt a little tired as well, but had a whole bunch of kind of honeydew stuff to do, right? So we are prepping the house for sale. So I spent a good majority of the day Wednesday tearing wallpaper off a wall in a bathroom and repairing, this giant mess, because apparently when you put wallpaper on, it tears the backer board, the drywall paper essentially like crazy. So I spent a lot of time Wednesday and Thursday doing the old mud thing, and by the time it came to hobby time, I was just worn out, too tired, didn't want to do it. And so I didn't do any hobbying until Friday. And then no. Was it Friday? No, it wasn't Friday. Because Friday, catastrophe struck. My primary hard drive on my computer crashed. And hopefully I can recover some data off of it. But I went through all the tricks, read up all of the things that could potentially have reset it. I did hard resets. I did updating the BIOS and all the other random things for my computer and the hard drive, and basically no joy. So I spent pretty much all of Friday evening reinstalling software, some operating system software, catching up on my email. So yeah, Friday was a wash. So I didn't actually do any painting until yesterday, because today's Sunday, right? I think today's Sunday. But I spent a good chunk of time painting on the Hellbrute. What a fun model that is to paint. I actually had a really good time painting that model. Spent a bunch of time today painting it as well. So it's really close to done, or what I would consider done. It's not final, but close to finished. A couple of things that I want to do, little washes and maybe a highlight or two here or there, but for the most part it's finished. So the only thing that I'm really missing out on, technically, the cipher that I set aside to repaint because, I got inspired by an image, and then my unit of Chosen. So 7 models. 7 models I didn't get done. I got 10, 11 models done, so almost, real close. But I'm okay with it because the last 2 weeks have been crazy, and, quite frankly, just been out of my control. Anyways, so with that, let's talk about the future of the channel. Future of the channel, essentially I like this format, right, what I'm doing here, so I'm going to continue doing that. So the next week, I'm going to throw up another poll on the Angels of the Host Facebook page. That is going to be various personal projects that were selected by my group of close friends who actually partake in hobby nights and painting time with me, and they have selected four separate games from my list of, and I'll show it to you here in a second, my list of games that I have projects for, and then each one of them selected individual projects. So those, like I said, those all go up for polls. I threw one in there myself, and I will throw one in there myself. So that's going to be an 8-week challenge, starter army, kind of for each one of those things. Now, I haven't decided yet on whether or not I'm going to allow other content creators or, you know, people to throw in content to edit into those videos, but anybody can follow along, anybody can play along, anybody can post along, right? So I will encourage everybody to post updates inside that Angels of the Host Facebook page if you are partaking in that particular challenge, right? If you don't have an army for that challenge, but you want to do a starter box army for something and, you know, run the challenge with me, the more the merrier, right? The whole point of this is basically to get a bunch of my backlog out of the backlog. I'm not looking to buy new armies for new games anytime soon. I'll do my best not to expand armies. I'm not going to make any promises, but I'll do my best not to expand the armies that I have. And again, I'm going to work through a backlog. So I'm going to show you basically my whiteboard right now. Okay, so as you saw, I think there's 25 different categories there of games. Now 40K has a red mark next to it. What does that mean? That red mark means I cannot paint for that system for 3 rotations, right? So each rotation is going to be roughly 8 weeks, about 2 months. There'll be a month or a week before and a week after, kind of, you know, to catch my breath and reset for the next one. And then, let me see, either Q3 or Q4, I'm going to have another official army challenge where I invite the community to take part in that as well. And I'll limit, obviously, the people who are allowed to post or send in videos because, you know, I mean, if it ends up being 20 different people, I'll be video editing for days, and that's not what I want to do. So that is kind of where things are at and where things are going. How am I going to keep track of that? Well, like I said, the red mark, I'll put a slash through it for this first round, slash through it for the next round, and then the following round I'll go ahead and erase that red mark, and it's live for the next series. Now, I do have Angels of the Host Challenge 2 ready to go. I know exactly what it is and how it's going to take place. Just haven't decided on a start date. I was thinking October 1st, but quite honestly, that runs right up towards the end of the year. And with this Angels of the Host Challenge, the first one starting in February, the next one will start in February, and basically they'll be back to back. I think I may go Q3 and have a start probably June-ish for the second official one. Is that Q3? Let me see. April, May, June, no, sorry, July 1st for the start of that, which would be June-ish for a start because you got to do all the prep work beforehand. So, yeah, keep an eye open for that. Obviously, we'll get to that and or in the near future. Details are coming. So, with that, you have an idea of where I'm going, have an idea of what I'm going to do. Let's take a look at what I've actually done, and then we'll jump in, look at Rando. Rando finished. Way to go, Rando. We'll look at Rando's force. We'll look at Maurice's force. I believe he finished as well, so that makes me the big failure. But that's okay. Like I said, I'm not unhappy with where I'm at or with what I've done. But, yeah, I'm out of things to say. So let's take a look at what I have gotten squared up. Take a look at their stuff, and then we'll hit you right back with that wrap. As I said, the only thing I worked on this week, well, yesterday and today, was the Hellbrute, as I didn't do any work at all this week for, well, I've already explained it. Not going to explain it again. So I've still got my 7 chosen, and then I forgot I actually pulled the champion out to do the champion, and then obviously Cypher, like I said, I'm going to reset Cypher and do him completely different than what was originally planned. So the 7 chosen aside, right, the Hellbrute, I spent a considerable amount of time on this guy. So we'll zoom in, take a look at him in all his glory. This guy, like I said, was a lot of fun to put some time into. Now, I want to finish off the skeletal bone areas around his face, obviously. Those aren't quite complete. They're close, but not quite. Still could use some highlighting and some shading. Now the golds, right? So this will be kind of the standard looking gold on my Black Legion. It is essentially just a two-step process, right? So you can see I've got golds and silvers basically everywhere. So the start of it really was quite simple. Rough iron from the Army painter as the base for all metallics. Then the golds got essentially tainted gold over the top, and then everything else that is silver got the gunmetal. I didn't go super crazy highlighting on these, you know, so you can see there's, you know, silver up in there on the tips and the claws and the blades on the side. I did do all of the piping in the various flesh sheaths with the rough iron and then the gunmetal. But then the gold, like I said, you can see basically how I went about it. It was pretty simple. It was easy. But there's a lot of filigree obviously going on with this guy. Ton of work. I did spend a good amount of time, and I did do additional highlights and blending. And again, like I said, there's some washes and some additional highlights that I would like to finish out on this guy. For the most part though, he is about as done as I'm going to take him for tabletop. And again, remember, that's what I want with this force, is tabletop force. So I did start in on the golds with this guy, the unit leader. So the golds, when I do the standard Marines or standard Black Legion, really will be tainted gold, and then it'll actually be a wash, which will bring it down. So I'm not even going to multi-layer the gold there. You can barely see him. So it'll be that tainted gold, which is what that is, and then I'll wash it down, probably with my favorite wash, which is the Game Ink Sepia from Vallejo. That's my phone. Don't worry about it. It's nothing important. So, okay, well, that's it. That's all I got to show you guys. I'm going to basically set up a quick turntable and do the quote-unquote completed force models and show you those. And I'm sure some of you are going to be like, dude, Oz, what about the bases? Well, quite honestly, I haven't decided how I want to paint the bases yet. So until I decide how I want to paint the bases, they're not going to get done. Mainly just due to the fact that, well, I haven't thought about it. And because this was, you know, kind of a new slash old project for me, I had bases that I wanted to do originally, but because I changed the makeup of this force and how I wanted to essentially lay it out, right? It went from primary Black Legion to some Fallen with some Noise Boys to primary Fallen Black Lions with some Noise Boys, right? It's always been with some Noise Boys. There's never been a focus on Emperor's Children or Slanesh. It's just, I really like Noise Marines. I think they're cool, so having some Noise Marines inside of the force would be great. But originally it was going to be all Black Legion, and then I fell into this Vortigern story and turned it into kind of a Fallen Black Legion thing. So quite honestly, the base scheme that I had, I don't want to use anymore, which means I got to come up with something new. So for now, it'll just be black bases with kind of a bit of a mess. But after I finish these guys, I will give that some thought and potentially have, you know, a whole bunch of stuff going on. But, you know, I mean, I did pull out some of the other stuff. I've got, you know, my Greater Possessed over here. I've got the, you know, giant Obliterators. These guys are so awesome. Those models are cool. And then I've got, you know, everybody's favorite bad guy that you love to hate, little arm in action happening here. And then this guy, haven't figured out if I actually want to use his left arm or a different arm for his left arm or not. So essentially I pulled out a bunch of models this week because I was thinking, hey, maybe I'll look at making a more cohesive force and scaling it up to 1,000 points. And then I thought the better of myself. So they're just still sitting on my desk. I need to put them away. But with that, let's take a quick look at the turntable and then jump over to either Randon or Maurice, whoever has their film in first.
Hey everybody, it's Maurice. We made it. It is the last video, and I am really excited to show you how the Army turned out. I think it's going to be pretty cool to get back into 40k with, maybe add a couple units to the sun, something like that. But it's been a really fun, however long it's been, getting them tabletop ready. There's still a bunch of work I can do on them for sure, but they are here where they need to be for the end of the challenge. So without any further ado, alright, here they are, and I'll get some zoom going on here. And I got the bases done on everything that I had bases for. I'm still missing a few flight stands and an actual GW base for the Sorcerer on disc, but overall I'm pretty happy. I think the colors turned out really bright. You've got a lot of different kind of variety in look, and it's a pretty fast army too, I think, with all the different discs going on. And it's too bad we are not anywhere near one another, because it'd be fun to play this against either of my colleagues' armies as well. So anyways, thanks very much for watching all the videos and following along, and we'll see you in the next challenge, hopefully, when we get get the group back together. Bye!
Hi there, yous gits. Grimmy! Finishing up this Angels Army challenge. Guess what, boys? We did it! Grim got it done! Whoa! Right then, we got Pete Garrow finished up with his grot. Steve, we love Steve. Steve's the best. Right then, let's take a look at the army, right, shall we? There it is, boys. There it is in its glory. Oh, look at it. Oh my God. Look at it. Oh, there it is. There we got Rock Pit, the Glagger, the truck, the boys, the tank busters, and Mike Wazowski. Good boy. This was a great challenge. So happy we was able to do this. I think we all finished up too. What a great thing. What a great 9 weeks of painting and hobby and joy. Loving it. So great. Remember, Grim and the Rock Pit are here. They're ready. We're ready to go. Whoa!
And that wrap. Oh man, so I'm a little worn out. Allergy season has started. I'm congested as crazy. I haven't been sleeping very well because allergy season started. I'm congested like crazy. Plus Adepticon last week, right? I mean, it's a whirlwind of holy crazy. Plus it's a 9-hour drive for me, right? 9 hours up, 9 hours back. And when you go through a week of holy crazy and then drive 9 hours, pretty much just worn out. And then you play catch up for, sadly, it's like a week. But we're at the end of that week, so hopefully tomorrow, hopefully I get some good sleep tonight. I'm really hoping I'm going to pop a couple of Benadryl before I go to bed. But, yeah, my stuff, Mo's stuff, Rando stuff, obviously it was fun challenge to, you know, crack along with the boys. We had a nice little chat dialogue going on inside of Facebook. So we kept pushing each other and updating and showing whips. And, you know, basically just having a lot of encouragement and chats during the week. It made it easier to sit down at the painting desk and go, all right, I got to get this done, I got to get that done, I got to get this done, I got to get that done, right? Because sometimes, especially like where I was at a couple months ago where I just hit that wall, just was tired of kind of getting let down by guys who would commit to something and then not follow through. So Mo and Rando, man, from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys for finishing this out. It means a huge amount to me, right? You guys walked with me side by side for a simple project. Both Mo and I obviously had stuff to do for Adepticon. Mo, a ton more stuff to do for Adepticon than what I scored away, but still, it was a great time. It was fun challenge. I am going to finish my Chosen Squad and my Hellbrute this week before jumping into something next week. Speaking of next week, so like I said, basically where we're at I've got a poll that's going to go up tomorrow in the Angels of the Host Facebook group. You guys will get a vote on what I start on 2 weeks from now. So next week, like I said, I'm just going to finish this up. I'll probably go ahead and throw that update video in as I throw the start of my next project video together, right? It'll segue from the final of this into let's get started with something new. So with that, as always, man, thanks for joining me. Definitely appreciate it. We'll catch y'all in a week. All right, Oz. 3, 2, 1, and you are live.